Well, hey, how long have you been up there? It's just mentioning to Matt Hannigan, who has begun his YouTube journey, that sometimes filming is an uncomfortable thing to do. That said, this is super uncomfortable. Hey everybody, welcome back to Monkey Shine Lab, and today the latest in bath towel technology is going to be our backdrop for some openings of some product that I've been talking about for a long time and have not gotten around to. And I'm just gonna have to excuse me. I've had a lot of real life going on. So today, what we're going to take a look at is this Majorette release, this PinkSlips release, and this Hot Wheels release. They are not related. They are not compared to one another. Just going to open them and take a closer look at these. They've been sitting here in the lab for a while, and I finally got a space cleared off where I can kind of do this. So here we go. I wish I could ask you which one you'd like to see first, but I'm just going to have to go ahead and make those host decisions. So, yeah. I'm going to start off with the Majorette. I believe that this was like $3, something like that. Maybe. They're not expensive. But one of the things that I do like about Majorette is the price point compared to other pieces, and we're going to get into that. They got it right by adding a little cardboard box, a collector's box, if you will. As you will see with PinkSlip, they tried, but they really don't manage. Having a collector's box does a couple of things, in my opinion. A, it allows you to stack and store these until you want to display them. If you're like me, sometimes I sort of rotate my displays and stuff like that around in the lab here. I do that for filming purposes as well as just to dust and, break up the doldrums. But I like the collector's box too, because if you have a young collector who's in your life that is starting to do this, it's a sort of a grown-up thing, if you will, and it also it teaches them to protect things when they're not looking at and playing with the toy. It's just an all-around good thing. So despite their failings, and one of their biggest failings I'm going to talk about is coming kicking and screaming into the 21st century in terms of a peg hole. Come on. Finding what you want of Majorette means disassembling the entire peg system. Sometimes it's just a pain in the ass, and it's unnecessary. It doesn't change the packaging. So with this series, as you see up here, there were several cars of different sort of decos, if you will. There was an orange, a green, a white on, I guess there's a white on black. It's all the way in the back there. This is to celebrate their 60 years in business as a company. And I got this one, of course, because it kind of looks like a golf loadout. So that's what I'm hoping to do with it, is to, sort of orange up the tires and a few other things and sort of turn it into a golf. That, or I will just turn it loose and give it to one of the many little collectors in my life. I have, pardon my dust, I have done a Majorette release before. This is the Porsche 917, which is a car that I really, really like historically, and I think that's the last Majorette I bought. Maybe, I don't know. But let's get this open, and I don't try to save any of the packaging on something like this because that's what the collector's card is for. Oh, there was a hole in the back of the... I'm an idiot. Anyway, you knew that. You knew I was an idiot. That's why you tune in. Just watch me idioting. Hit the subscribe button. You'll get more of this excellent programming. Okay, inside the bubble, you get the car case, of course, too, but they do have this little slide case. Okay, it is particularly handy when utilizing the box. Oh no, those don't fit in there. Okay, well, I'm wrong about that. These don't go, but the car does go inside the box. So pop it out of its clamshell here, being very careful not to bend the axles. All right. So, like I said, it's a nice little addition. Okay, set that to the side, and let's take a little closer look now at the construction. The base is plastic, but this is all mold. The the tubes are, of course, chromed, but individually chromed, which is nice. And what you're getting here is not whiz bang, but what you're getting here is a neat feeling car. Feels good in the hand, and it captures this time when automotive racing was, shall we say, a little more dangerous. You have a roll bar in back that almost gets as high as my helmet. Basically, my head is the skidding point. This thing flips over. This is neat, and it's going to take a nice little Gulf livery logo on it and some orange paint. It's going to do that very well. Also, I'm going to darken the inside of the engine cowling. Why? Just have somebody with a paintbrush hit that real quick. Silly. But other than that, really cool. Here, let me give you a look at it without my fingers in the way. Excuse me. There's not much else to say about this. Okay. It gives you a neat little car to start your kids into collecting. It is a fun little sort of piece, if you will. It's not terribly complicated. It's not terribly expensive. And the other stuff that they generally do in this class, it has, moving parts and much more detail in terms of the deco or whatever that's going in the car. But on the whole, getting what you pay for. It's a $3 car. It's a little better than a Hot Wheel, in my opinion, because there's a driver in the seat, actually. And taking a little time to add a little wash to it will bring out the detail of the mold and everything else. It'll look better. And maybe I will get around to doing that someday. Let's move on to the next car, though. Generally, by the way, I try to stick to 164 when I'm looking at cars that I want to buy and keep. I will occasionally buy something from Virago like this. These are the F1 from last year. Pardon my dust. These are exceptions I will make in terms of scale, but most of the larger scale stuff that I do, like this next piece, I don't really feel like that's 164. Maybe I'm incorrect, but I feel like they're a little bigger. PinkSlips stuff is so hit and miss, and the larger you go with PinkSlip, the worse it tends to be in terms of quality control. So this is going to be an interesting open. I did the McLaren, which, oh gosh, is that around here right now? I don't see it. Oh no, wait, here it is. I did the McLaren a little while ago. I sort of did an opening on this, and this car I really liked. If you want to see that review, it's back a little ways, but I tend to stay away from the PinkSlip stuff because Andre has bought some larger scale stuff because it was kind of neat to look at, and he'd get it out of the package and it would not pass the scuff test that he does for paints and stuff of that nature, the finish, and a lot of just blemishes that you don't see when it's in the package. So this one I wanted to pick up and take out of the package because after seeing it, I had a ton of FOMO with this, and I am not a Nissan fan. I'm not a GTR fan, but the amount of detail that I could see just through the packaging, it's stuck in my head. Here's some of the others in the set. I've seen that Mustang and the Lamborghini hanging around. Some of these you just never see them. So that's why I picked this one up, just to take a look at it. Let's talk about the packaging real quick, though. This just looks like it's been scuffed. It looks terrible. I don't get the sweep lines going up or down or whatever. This is better PinkSlip packaging than I have seen out of them in the past, though. So, and by the way, it's like a combination of Jada and I think Majorette's involved with this too. So it's like a combo brand. And this does, I will notice prior, have the thumb punch thing, but the thumb punch is right here. So another mistake. But at least, they have the J cut on the peg, which is evoking the spirit of Rob and just destroying the packaging because I don't gonna break something taking it out of the package, but Jiminy Cricket! Again, a little side holder bubble, but it's not actually functional for the rest of the packaging, which I'm taking care of. So let's talk about the fact that they give you a metal tin. PinkSlips, neat, really cool and everything. But the interior is just this, you know, aluminum, and the car which most collectors will tell you is a no-no. So what I like to say with this tin is like the Adam Sandler joke from Saturday Night Live. Your weed goes in here. Let's talk about the car. This is actually a lot of sculpting detail, and it's really pretty. The tampos are nice, and this is what I'm talking about when I say finish a car. You have headlights, you have tail lights, you have grille detail, you have various sponsorships and whatever that are on there. The spoiler, of course, is plastic, and the chassis is plastic, but the body is all die cast. It feels oddly light for the size, but I don't mind that. Weight always adds to the perception of value. So in the early days of Honda, when they were trying to sell their Civics, what they did is they filled the doors with a foam that made them sound more solid when they closed them. There was no longer a clank, and it was a broad innovation with very little material that now sets the standard. These are really neat, though. They have opening doors. It's kind of stiff, but you know, the doors will open right and left. Mirrors are molded into it. Bizarre. So no rubber mirrors or anything, and you know, the interior seems to be detailed enough. There's a steering wheel in there, and there's a center wash windshield wiper right in the center that makes the windshield look like it's got a blemish. Whatever. Let me give you a little closer look at this. It's not a bad piece. I like the McLaren better, but that's just, I think, a personal thing, you know. I like this a lot. I will probably end up gifting this to our son Zeb, because he does like the GTRs quite a bit. But glad to pick this up and show it to you. I believe that these PinkSlips are relatively the same as the Majorette. It's like a $3 or $4 car. So it's an interesting step up from a mainline Hot Wheel, okay, where you have the extra detail and effort put into it, You do have rubber tires, by the way, or at least some very soft plastic tires. I feel like the Majorette stuff is really good because it comes in the cardboard box. But you know, these metal tins. So, and now I've thrown that one for a joke, and I don't even know where it went. The metal tins are kind of they're silly, and it doesn't give you a good feeling to keep the car in there. I've got this McLaren in there just because of you know, a desire to be able to stack the damn thing. But two fairly nice cars. I don't feel like either one of these has been a bad purchase. I just think that they need to do something about these tins. They're silly. Anyway, let's move on to the final here, a Hot Wheel Team Transport that I picked up out east. When I was out east helping Andre get his store open, we did a lot of shelf flipping. And this is one of the things that we found, in addition to the Pokemon cards and etc. that we were kind of looking for. A lot of the time out there, they find a lot of die-cast. I haven't found a lot of die-cast shelf flipping. I gotta be honest. We just don't have the amount of Target stores immediately available that they do out east. It's just a more condensed situation. So anyway, all of that aside, when I found this under the shelf, it had been put on sale. So even though I'm not a big Phillips 76 person, I thought, you know what, that is a sharp looking transport, and I do dig the Superbird. So this is going to come out of the package, I think, and join my other team transports of a Gulf nature. I have lots of team transports of a Gulf nature. This one here, oddly enough, is a Maisto. It's like the only Maisto team transport I own. But also, let's see if I can take this out of here without falling it apart. I do have these three team transports with the Gulf. This case was a Keurig cup holder thing that was on sale at Target for a little while, and they haven't molded them again since, but it holds a team transport really nicely. So hopefully they'll make more of these. We need more. Target, if you watch my show. And why aren't you if you're not? But Target, we need more Keurig cup holder things, because they really hold larger scale crap like this well. Boy. You know, you'd never know that my show is so scripted. Just to show it off, this is I believe it's a Hot Wheel? No. It's a Sport Racer Golf. And then I do buy the NAS style quality collectors, the Mini GT. Okay, my dialogue is completely falling apart. Let me open this. By the way, the other transports that were available in the set, that Mazda might have been fun to find. I do like the 787B. Porsche's pretty. I like the color. Okay, so Hot Hot Wheels is, we all know Hot Wheels. Card off. It's got extensive amounts of bubblature. Wow, I got on my shirt. Again, some things need to happen during filming, and sometimes it has to happen in a very uncomfortable environment. Matt, hope you got a laugh out of that. Okay. The wonder of the tray shot. Gotta have the tray shot. Sort of bounce the light off of it. By the way, I hope this lighting is coming out okay, and that it's not turning everything violent colors. But let's take this out. You always know what you're getting with a Hot Wheels Team Transport. Not gonna spend a ton of time on this, but the Superbird, the chassis is metal. The deco on it is absolutely sublime. It's wonderful. This looks as good, maybe better in ways, than some of my M2 stuff, which I prize. I mean, it's really nice. Real riders. Rubber tires. And this is what actually just really sold me, honestly, was the color and the gloss of the transport. I think that this is probably one of the sharpest transports that they've ever done. And that's what I'm, as I'm saying it, I am not a transport collector. I probably have what I've shown you. I don't think I have anything even like stapled on the wall. It is what it is. But let me give you a little closer look at this. So like I said, you get what you get with these. I would advise that you wait for any of them to go on sale if you possibly can, because I think they're up to something like $18, $19 now, some places, for these team transports. And while they're on real riders and they are metal chassis and such, I feel like inflation is starting to move me out of things that are going to give me two pieces for $20 almost, and picking up pieces more like this, which are more like $3 and $4 in terms of certainly what I'm going to be picking up for my grandkids and stuff like that. I would rather that they have the features like the opening doors and the collector's box, and sort of immersing somebody in how die-cast culture goes. These things are silly. They're a metal tin. I suppose you could put a little piece of foam in there to keep things from rattling around too bad. And like I said, I will stack my cars in these because I need to stack them somewhere. And I'm getting rid of so much now. You would think that there would be space, but there isn't. Anyway, let's move to my final thoughts on the issue here. For once, I actually feel as rough as I look. Sorry about my lack of being on camera over the last week, folks. It has prevented me from doing a lot of different things. And, you know, like I've said before, I don't complain. So you're not hearing me complain. I'm just telling you why I haven't been on camera. I appreciate, of course, everybody's patience. And it's the beautiful thing about YouTube is that right now it's not a matter of income. We're watching the Frankie Jody Hildebrand thing on Hulu right now. The woman who chained up her kids and stuff. We're watching about that. And the interesting thing for me as a YouTuber is watching some of the outtakes that she had and the reactions. Like, I live in a very loud environment. My wife has been banging around the kitchen. We're having dinner with some family tonight. And so for me, that's just like, well, that's part of Monkey Shine Lab, folks, you know, real life here. We don't edit things out, but she really did. So it's been really kind of interesting to me to watch that, but it's also kind of made me itchy to get an episode or two produced. And anyway, you know, in terms of the die-cast stuff, I haven't really done a dedicated die-cast episode in a little while, because I feel like I haven't had much to say on the subject. You know, we're all watching main lines go up and up and up. There was one viewer, excuse me. There was one viewer who commented that that main lines are getting up close to $2 in their area, which is disturbing. And I mean, you can find that sort of pricing if you go to like Safeway grocery stores. If you don't have a Safeway card, they're charging you full ass like $2 for a car. And if you have the Safeway card, then it drops down to $1.25 or something like that here. So as always, you've got to be careful where you're buying things, but you know, don't feel like this is the last time. If you don't see something that comes out, don't feel like it's the last time you're going to see it. I was not looking for that 76 Transport, but if I were, we found it long after it had been on sale, and I bought it for $13.41 plus tax in the New Jersey area. So that's kind of the financial story on that. I have been packing up and sending stuff to Andre's store, so hopefully this box will get out of my car soon, but I have a bunch of die-cast that's headed their way. So if you want to buy a real piece of Monkey Shine Lab used toys, they will be available at Cryptid. They keep them in a separate room because they've been handled by a ginger. But outside of that, they're okay. No, I'm kidding. I am sending a bunch of stuff in package, though. Stuff that my wife has been asking me to get rid of for like years. She's like, can you? I don't mind if you've got cars and toys and shit in the lab, but it's starting to creep into the laundry room and everywhere else. So anyway, I packed up a bunch of that stuff. It's coming out your way, Andre, as soon as I get the labels. Do you hear me? Labels. You bum. Nah. He has also been ailing and not complaining about it, but apparently his back still hurts from when I was out there weeks ago. God, dude. Poor man. And I'd like to remind you that physically falling apart is my identity. You gotta go find your own. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming out here to Monkey Shine Lab today, and I will have more content for you. I apologize. Every once in a while, life and health and etc. gets in the way. But I have no complaints, and I have nothing that's going to prevent me from coming back here to make yet another episode. Join me, won't you? I'm falling apart. Bye, everybody.